Het is allicht nooit gemakkelijk baas van de FBI te zijn, maar James Comey stond in aanloop naar de Amerikaanse verkiezingen in 2016 wel voor bijzonder brandende dilemma's. Eerst deed hij te weinig rond de e-mails van Hillary Clinton, daarna te veel. En toen bleek dat hij ook de relaties van het Trump-team met Rusland onderzocht. Toen was het over en out voor FBI-baas James Comey. Kerstvers verkozen president Trump ontsloeg de man in mei 2017. Een jaar later, nu dus, slaat Comey terug in zijn memoires en interviews. Bram van de Putten en Björn Soenens.
So let's, and there's James. He's become more famous than me.
Who is Donald Trump? At this point in time, it's someone who doesn't reflect the values of this great country, which is the United States of America. And that's a struggle for us as a country. And it's something we're going to have to work ourselves through. And I'm optimistic about this country because we have strong divides on policy, but we really do have a set of values in common. That's what the American experiment is all about. And I'm optimistic that we're going to focus on that and return to being the kind of inspiration and model that we should be.
Dag op dag 1 jaar na zijn ontslag als FBI-directeur doet James Comey een boekje open over Trump. En daarbij komt één waarschuwing steeds terug. De Amerikaanse normen en waarden staan volgens Comey onder druk.
Mr. Comey, you write in your book, we are experiencing a dangerous time. How worried are you?
Very concerned that some of the norms at the heart of our country are being damaged, especially the rule of law and a commitment to holding our leaders accountable to tell the truth. There's a danger we'll become numb to that and accept that from our president and our government, and I don't know exactly how you recover from that. That's why I'm so concerned.
I need to open with a very critical breaking news announcement.
Oktober 2016. James Comey en zijn FBI droppen een bom in de Amerikaanse presidentscampagne. Amper 2 weken voor de verkiezingsdag heropent de FBI het onderzoek naar de persoonlijke e-mailserver van Clinton.
Hillary Clinton is still convinced that you swung the election towards Donald Trump. Do you sleep at night with the same thought?
I sleep at night, but I very much hope that's not true. And it may sound odd to also say, it doesn't change how I think about the decisions. I think I was faced with 2 very bad choices, and I chose the one that was the less bad of the 2. And so even knowing that it might have an impact, looking backwards, doesn't change how I would think about it. But it's painful because the FBI and the Justice Department want to have nothing to do with elections, and the idea that we might have had an impact is painful.
En dan is er nog het FBI-onderzoek naar de mogelijke Russische inmenging en de geruchten over Trumps avontuurtjes met Russische prostituees.
I first learned of the existence of the material that's become known as the Steele dossier in 2016. I think it was the early fall of 2016. And when I left as FBI director, when I was fired a year ago today, it was a process that was underway by the FBI to try and figure out how much of the Steele dossier could be corroborated, could be validated. But there was no doubt that its core allegation, which was that the Russians were interfering in the American election, was already corroborated. And the bit you just referenced, the salacious stuff about prostitutes, was actually not something we were interested in investigating. We wanted the incoming president to know about this, but we weren't interested in investigating that.
But the president was. He said.
Well, he raised the prospect that he may ask me to investigate it. And he never actually directed me to, but he raised that idea with me.
And why was that?
Why did he raise it? I don't know.
Was that because of Melania, like you described in your book, that he wanted to soothe her and say, I don't want my wife to believe any of those stories?
I don't know. He said to me at one point that that if it was even a 1% chance his wife believed it was true, it was very painful. But I don't know exactly why he kept bringing it up, because I was not asking him about it. After having told him about it once, which was my mission, so that he would know that it was there, I never asked about it again. He would constantly raise it, and I'm not sure exactly why.
Do you think Mr. Trump was legally elected President of the United States?
I do. Yeah, I do. I think our system operated in the way it should. He didn't win the popular vote, but he won our electoral college. And so I don't have any doubt about that. And I've seen no indication that any of the Russian interference that we talked about impacted the actual vote count of our elections. So that's why I say that.
The only collusion is the Democrats colluded with the Russians, and the Democrats colluded with lots of other people. Take a look at the intelligence agencies. And what about, and what about Comey? Do you watch him on the interviews? What about Comey?
Is there anything positive you can say about this president, or do you just hate the guy?
No, I actually don't hate the guy. And I think it's really important, especially for young people, to realize that hate is just a distraction and gives somebody power over you that you should never give them. And so I try not to hate anybody. I don't like a lot of his actions, which is what I focus on. But I think there are good things to say. One in particular, this man has tremendous energy, and it is striking. I don't mean that sarcastically. He has an energy and a passion and a drive that's very unusual in anybody, especially a 71 or 72-year-old.
Dit was Terzake. Het is tijd voor de afspraak. Wat ons betreft, heel graag tot morgen.